Hi, this is Billy Burgess with the IBM Watson and Cloud Platform Architect team, and today I'm going to be doing a demo of our OpenWhisk serverless functions and Watson Assistant and Discovery intertwined together. This demo doesn't cost anything to run. It is using light versions of all the offerings, and you can deploy it yourself with an IBM account and go to the GitHub repo here. It's Watson Developer Cloud, and then Assistant with Discovery OpenWhisk. It's all free and publicly available. So let's go to our architecture diagram to start with here. It's going to be this here. The front end code is going to be HTML and CSS and React. It's going to be running locally, and then when certain actions happen, it's going to make a call out to Watson Conversation and Watson Discovery, depending on what the specific action is. And it does that using our OpenWhisk function tool. And we'll go in real quick and describe each of these, the functions, serverless offering, and then Watson Conversation Discovery briefly before the demo. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to be using IBM Cloud Functions, which is our serverless kind of function as a service offering, which essentially allows you to write your own function, any specific. It's like a method within a class of code. It's one specific activity that you can do repeatedly. And the key here is that it triggers this and only costs you while it runs for each individual time that you use the function call, not necessarily the whole time that you need it to be available. It's always on, but you don't get charged for it until you use the call, which is going to be different than setting up a virtual server and putting your app on that, or even using Cloud Foundry, where as long as the app is up and available, you're using it. It only costs you when you actually make those calls. So very, very cool concept there. Next, we're going to be using Watson Assistant, which this is the Watson Assistant workspace page. Watson Assistant is going to be your conversation. We can click in here. This is where you'll build out and train that. You have intents, entities, and a dialogue. Your intents are going to be kind of verbs, concepts, things you want to accomplish in a conversation, and something that will happen with an individual user. Entities are going to be your nouns, amenity, and you can add in restroom, gas, place, various things. So major nouns, concepts that the Watson Assistant chatbot, when they're having this conversation, wants to grasp important things that it'll help guide it along the conversation. And then your dialogue is going to be the tree that you go down for various things. It'll tell it where to go, what to jump to, what to do next when it recognizes those intents and entities. So the assistant is the dialogue itself and what you initially talk to. Discovery is also integrated into this. Discovery is a service that ingests a large quantity of data through documents or websites, processes that, and can integrate to train it on a specific subject matter. We'll click into this one here and show you what I mean. This one is specifically for a car simulation. So the assistant will walk us through various things that the car will do, direct, do this, find this, and then it'll engage discovery when it can't handle something that's a more complicated question. So if we click into here, we see it's ingested 186 documents. We can click in here and see the documents that it's viewed. Do that. In this case, it was the user manual for a car. So it has all these things. You can click into various ones and see what it's ingested, what it's processed everything to be. It's obviously gone through and seen that fuse specification chart here is its own unique subset. Changing a fuse is its own unique action. So it's processed that itself. You can see it pulls out metadata. It understands the body is this. Some of the content, it'll give you a source URL, and then it has a title, and it extracts this data from the documents that are uploaded into it. So it allows you to add in kind of more cognitive search capabilities than you would typically with Assistant. So that's pretty much the overview there. Let's go ahead and click into the demo. So here's the chatbot. Again, this front end is all you can see running in localhost. Every time I type out an interaction, it will trigger the functions, the serverless compute cloud functions, and engage Watson Assistant. Um, and sometimes Watson Assistant will come back without needing discovery, and we'll show you some of these first here. Hi, what would you like me to do? So let's say turn on wipers. It's a very easy dialogue. It's just, you want this, I confirmed what you wanted, and I, in theory, did it. So play music. And we'll come back. Oh, he doesn't have any soundtrack music. Okay, try this. So it recognizes your intent and wants you to be a little more specific. Play rock music. Great choice, and it'll play it. So it can handle some complex dialogue. Let's look at something maybe a little bit more complex. Again, all of this is handled in Watson Assistant alone, not using Discovery yet. And each time I enter a message, it sends, it triggers the serverless cloud function, goes to Watson Assistant, handles that, and then returns. So let's say I'm out of gas. So that's not really a request. And this shows some of the natural language processing capabilities. It's not really a question. It's not really a request. It's taking the intent there and being like, oh, you probably are looking for a gas station if you're out of gas. It does that based on its pre-trained models that Watson has. So which one would you like me to drive through? Well, I don't know. What are my options? So there's 5 locations. Which gas station would you like? Well, I'm out of gas, so let's go to nearest. And it'll go to the first gas station. And this all goes through a logical decision tree here. If I typed in nearest again, this conversation has ended, so it'll probably not understand what I'm asking for. Yeah, so you want, no, it's nearest what? It doesn't really understand. So you can see how here it was going down a logical branch of the conversation. And ended up, once the conversation was over, understands that we're now done off that subject onto something different. So that's all using Watson Assistant. Let's engage something that's going to be more complicated that you can't solve just by doing this. So let's do, how do I change a tire? And this will engage discovery here. Great question. And it uses discovery. It'll tell you when it goes to discovery. So went to Watson Assistant. Watson Assistant wasn't able to handle it, so it sent it to Watson Discovery through the manual in the car book. So here's what it found. It gives you a couple options just in case the top one isn't right. Tire care, okay, and then you can click in full manual entry. And actually, this one will send you right to the Ford website and tell you about how you do that. So back in here, we can go in and ask it, where is my vehicle VIN number? Let's see if that'll trigger discovery. So that one got confused with a location because you're saying where is something. Let's try something along the lines of, how do I change my oil? So something, again, more process-based, something that you can't answer with a quick response. VIN number could be programmed into Assistant just to say, oh, it's, front left dashboard. So this is going to be more complicated of an answer. So it engages discovery to search through the knowledge corpus that discovery was trained on. In this case, again, the entire user manual for a Ford vehicle, and gives you back a set of responses. So that's going to be the demo. Again, hopefully you can see the value in adding in discovery to Watson Assistant to allow you to do more complex searches and complex response. This can be used across a variety of industries. This, car example is not a great one, but in terms of business use cases, think about helping someone on a website who doesn't know where they're going or has been frustrated, can't find the answers to something. You can give them quick FAQs through Assistant, and then when they need a deeper, more detailed response, you can use the discovery. You can train it on the documentation and the information that you have at hand, and then you can provide them with a quick link to exactly what they're looking for, or answer the question directly themselves. All right, thank you very much.